Hello, Gemini. Thank you so much for being here with me today. This is going to be your June 2023 reading. Again, this is for the energy of Gemini, anyone who has their sun, moon, or rising sign, or any strong Gemini placements in their birth chart. If you enjoyed the video, if you were able to gain any insight or perspective from the reading, I would really appreciate if you liked the video, and if you're curious to see more from the channel, please subscribe. I would also appreciate that. So we start off this month of June with a full moon in Sagittarius. This happened on June 3rd, which was yesterday. I'm recording June 4th. And so the overall theme for the month of June for the collective is pretty much just diving into our ideas and ideals and having some enthusiasm around some of these new initiatives that we want to bring to the table. And for you, this is going to be happening in a part of the chart that has to do with relationships, the relationships that you have with others. It could be love, but not just love. These are relationships in general. So there is some sort of enthusiasm around that, and you may be changing your belief system around how you see relationships with others. You may be changing your like how you show up in relationships as well, like sort of reflecting on that. There may be an opportunity during the month where someone comes in and there is a reason for you to see the dynamics between you and this other person that makes you become aware of, like, hey, like, this is a pattern of mine, or, you know, I used to have this type of belief system around what, you know, how I see relationships, but, you know, now that this person has come into my life for some reason, it's making me see things differently. Or it could be vice versa. You are the one that's triggering this awareness for another person. So, you know, the beginning of the month, and, you know, I would say for the entirety of the month of June, there is, again, emphasis on relationships and just overall our ideas and belief systems around them. In general, there's also travel indicated here, learning something new, higher education, higher spiritual, you know, pursuits. And because it's falling in that place of relationships, you may be doing this with another person, or if you were to be traveling or something like that, you may meet, you know, somebody like this of, you know, higher philosophy and, you know, just a person that is, you know, overly enthusiastic around something. And so you could either be doing this with another person or a group of people, or you could come into contact with another person when you are traveling. So going into middle of the month on June 18th, we do have the new moon in your sign of Gemini, and this moon will be squaring Neptune in Pisces. So this is going to be falling in a place of the chart that has to do with you as an individual, your persona, how you know, show up to the world. And, you know, it could be your body, your, you know, a form of character or characteristic that you have, that you are paying attention to. So it's just emphasizing the personality aspects of yourself. And maybe you are just more out in the open with who you are, being really strong and steady and confident in yourself and your entirety, like of your entire being. Maybe you have some more attention on you during this time. You are going to be focused on you, focused on your body, focused on your mind, right? Like, these are the things that are about ourselves, and there may be no interest in, you know, others, or how others are influencing you. Like, maybe you're not taking any feedback, or you're not taking any opinions about something that you're changing or something that you're doing with yourself. And so this is a really confident energy of, like, you know, I know what I need. I know what's good for me, right? Like, I don't need anybody to tell me about me, right? which is great. I mean, it's a really good energy to be in. And then it's also squaring Pisces, or Neptune in Pisces. So there could be some sort of intuition, something of fantasy or mystical, watery type of elements coming up here as well that you are going to be diving into. Like maybe there is a how can I say, like a treatment, like a skin treatment, or a health, like a holistic health type of approach for, something within your body. Or maybe you are getting into yoga or meditating, or, like those different modalities that come through with the spiritual community or the mystical community regarding your body and your personal personality, your character, right? So blending these two together somehow, some way, maybe drinking more water because of that Neptune and Pisces. You're thinking about your skin. Maybe you're going through some cleansing, some water cleanses or something like that is what I'm picking up on. So how do we blend the idea around focusing on ourselves, our health, our body, our character, our persona, and blending that in with this romanticizing, mystical, water elemental energy. And so it does bring in more of that spiritual, holistic, organic type of modalities or situations, or things that you want to buy for yourself, stuff like that. So there's something around that could be happening this month. And then, of course, I've been talking about Jupiter lately in the videos, and how Jupiter has just gone into the sign of Taurus, and it was in Aries for a good year. And so now Jupiter is emphasizing, the pleasure and money and what we value. And for the next year or so, the collective in general, in one way, shape, or form, is going to be focused on those things, and seeing that Jupiter is going to start to bring in opportunity and blessings around money, pleasure, things that we value. Okay, so it's interesting though, because with you, this is especially Gemini rising, that's falling in a place that has to do with the hidden and the unseen. And so this goes into a more mental psyche place of ourselves, like the deep psychological part of us that we really don't tap into or show too much, unless you're a 12th house person where, that's your usual state of being. But if not, and especially for a sign like Gemini, there is emphasis here right now with Jupiter, Mercury, and Uranus in this part of the chart. And so there just may be a lot of reflection going on there with that relationship energy that I was talking about in the beginning. Somebody may come in, or relationship may trigger you to step back and really dive in deep into the unconscious and the subconscious part of yourself, looking at trigger moments in your life, or trauma moments in your life, and trying to figure that out and reflect on it, using the senses, using touch, using smell and food, and taste, and this earth-based type of approach. I would say that it would be ideal for you to connect with the element of earth during this time. Do more naturistic activities, when you're out and about, or when you're traveling, especially during June, if you're inclined to travel, and try to connect with the earthly plane in order to heal some of these old, deep-rooted traumas and parts of your psyche, and be able to find some really solid ground, some stability within that, and start to create a new foundation, and plant seeds for healing, and to transform those traumas into something more productive, and that'll add to your life, if that makes sense. All right, so those are the aspects that I want to talk about so far. If anything comes through in the cards where it, you know, makes me want to speak on anything else from an astrological perspective, then I will do that then. But let's get started with the reading and the cards. So we're going to go into your personal energy for the month of June 2023. Gemini, personal energy for the month of June 2023, please. All right, we have the Star. Beautiful. Right now you are the star of the show with the Sun in Gemini, so it's only fitting. When are you not, right? The start of the show. Then we have the Justice card. And the Ten of Wands. So something seems like there's a lot to handle right now. Something seems that it is sort of a burden. You want to have this hope and trust in your destiny and your future, and you have this like ideal or idea around what that should look like. And I don't know if in this month, because, you know, going back to that full moon in Sagittarius, where it's emphasizing our ideas and ideals around certain parts of our lives, I don't know if that is, you know, just sort of enhancing this this time, like it's being enhanced for you to really sort of look into your future and daydream about the idea that you want your life to look like. And usually during our birthdays, that's what we do, right? Like we reflect on the past year, or we reflect on our life and, you know, everything that it took to get us to where we are today. And then we start looking at what do we want for our future, and we start making plans for the year to come, right? Like in a sense, it's that New Year's energy where we have all these plans and we want to make quote unquote resolutions or intentions, right, for the year coming up. And so I do feel that there's something like that going on, but I also feel that there's sort of a blockage, or maybe like you can't completely 100% step into this new belief system that you really, really want to have, but there is like this psychological thing holding you back. And this does, you know, relate to the astrology that I was talking about this month for you, of stepping into that root work and that deep, deep psychological part of yourself to bring it to life and to transform it, right? So I do feel that with the Justice card here, there's a level of karma that you perceive. I want to say it's more of a thought process or perception, not necessarily like you literally don't deserve something. It's more of your perception that you don't just deserve something. Something is too hard. I don't believe that this would, like the life that I see in my mind that I want to have, it's too hard for me to do that. I don't think I'm good enough to do that, or, you know, it's just not realistic enough to do that. And so maybe you have this little battle internally, mentally, where, you know, you're thinking of this high vibrational, but yet unrealistic type of life that you want to have. And so because you have that mindset of it, something being unrealistic, you are preventing yourself from completely stepping into it and trying to start to take those steps to get to that life that you want, if that makes sense. So there is this energy of you're holding yourself back here, and the need to go into that psychological place to see where that comes from and do the work to heal that, so you can be the best you and you can step into your best life. Let's see what's in the environment for Gemini for the month of June 2023, please. We have the Ace of Cups. The Eight of Cups. And the Five of Swords. So something in your environment has you completely overthinking a situation, has you very confused. There's a need to step away and walk away from this confusion. And I do believe that it is around another person. So when we have the Eight of Cups here, this is an energy of I am leaving behind something that I once believed in, that I once loved, that I once cared for, and I'm leaving it behind to move to the thing that I need now or that I want now. There is something around this love or this thing that you cared for that is no longer working for you, that is not there, like it's not supposed to be in your life anymore. If it is a person, then it could be a person, but it could also be something that you once loved, like maybe, you know, a hobby or a project that you were working on for a while and it's over now. And so now it's like, okay, I need to step into the next thing. But there's a level of feeling and emotion around this thing that you need to move away from. And I'm also getting that feeling of how things and people, some people and some situations are not supposed to be in our life forever, right? And there is something around that right now that it's run its course. There's a feeling of running its course. And I'm an intuitive reader, so this is how I'm picking up on the feeling of the person that I'm reading for, the situation I'm reading for. And so that's what I'm getting strongly. Something has run its course. And so you have to move on from it. And I think that you know that, but you or someone may feel that like confused about that. Like not understanding yet the lesson and the reason why this person or this thing was in your life. And because you don't understand it yet and you haven't seen that lesson yet, to you it's like, I don't get why this has to be over. Am I overthinking this? Am I supposed to stay here? I have no direction around this choice that I have to make because it doesn't make sense. Sometimes those things don't make sense. And, you know, we just pick up on how, because it's not adding to our life anymore, eventually something happens where we have to move away from something, right? And I think that you're in that place right now, or another person may be in that state of mind right now. But let's get more details around this situation. And also, if we can pick up on anything that you need to prepare for the month of June, anything that you need to anticipate coming your way, could be people or situations. All right, we have the Nine of Cups and the Two of Cups. Yeah, so this is starting off the month. There's a strong relationship energy of focus. And how this energy is the Eight of Cups, and it is leaving something that you once cared for behind and walking toward this new love or this new thing, which essentially is this Nine of Cups. So there's a path here. A path is being formed in the cards right now. Whoa. So we have the Nine of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles with the Seven of Pentacles. This relationship is probably an established bond that you have been in for a good while, just because the earth element is coming through really strongly here. But in the beginning of the month, the focus is on finding emotional fulfillment, emotional satisfaction, finding peace, finding harmony within a relationship or within a dynamic between two people, and really wanting that to happen. Like, how can I fix this? How can I make this better? There's also a sense of independence here as well. Like doing something independently, going off on your own. Again, I did get that someone is moving away from something. This could be also, if you're not in an established bond, someone is moving toward, like, doing away with stress, doing away with emotional blockages, right? Like being done with all of this like heavy healing type of energy. Like maybe you've been in a healing mentality, a healing state for a while, and now it's time to, like, I've done the healing. Like at some point, how much more healing do we need to do, right? At some point, we need to step out of the healing and start to move and start to take action and start to go to that next phase of life, right? We can't stay in the healing forever. And so I'm also picking up on that, how, you know, someone may have been healing and now it's time for them to move forward and into a more balanced way of being, like balancing yourself for the sake of having inner peace, inner calm, harmony within yourself. There's a balancing effect happening here. The Nine of Pentacles is someone who is established with their finances, with their wealth, with their money, their job. You know, they don't depend on anyone. They're independent. There's no codependency. There is no, like, there's a need to move. Like, being balanced is going to help you be in this really strong, steady, stable, independent energy. The Nine of Materials is not lacking for anything from an earthly, material, real world basis, but the Nine of Materials, or the Nine of Pentacles, could be lacking in emotion or love of some sort. So this could be talking about someone that has a really good job, has worked really hard to get where they're at, lives, you know, by themselves, has their own home, has their own car, right? Like, does the things that they have, pays their own bills, doesn't depend on anyone, and they can be single and they can be looking for love, or they could be lacking that emotional component within themselves, because they have been too focused on the outer world, the outer things. There may be some communication at the beginning of the month with someone regarding money and the need to sort of revise where the money is going, or something about money and finances. It's like reevaluating things, reassessing things, like delegating money, where, you know, someone's money is going to where, to what, investments, bills, that sort of thing. Maybe there's conversations with a financial advisor, or, you know, insurance companies, or something like that. There's some changes that need to be made around your investments and your money at the beginning of June for the sake of financial independence, financial freedom. And I think that this is going to also provide you with that peaceful sense, that emotional balance that you're seeking. Because when our money is everywhere, we don't know where our money is going, or how we're using our money, especially if other people are involved with our money. That definitely brings up this confusion and an emotional and mental imbalance right? Because, I mean, money is obviously an important part of living on this earthly plane. Unfortunately. Anyway, not unfortunately. I love money. Money's great. Okay. Let's see what else is coming up. All right. Page of Wands. The Chariots. This is in mid-month of June. Temperance. Yeah, something is definitely protected and divinely, there's divine influence coming through here. Like purpose around this situation for everyone involved. It's for a reason. There's a lesson it's supposed to happen. These are big players here coming out with the major arcana cards in the middle and mid-month of June. You're looking at something from a different perspective. You once saw a situation, a relationship, a circumstance one way. Maybe it was more material based, and now you're looking at it from a spiritual, universal, you know, big picture perspective. Like it's no longer just 3D perspective here. Like someone has woken up, right? Like the woke type of culture, or the woke, what is that? I don't know. Definition of woke, like waking up to seeing the real part of life, like what life really is. And that could be like, I mean, that's a whole talk, right? But getting out of this reality of just going to work, making money, getting married, having kids, buying a house, paying the bills, you know, like washing the car, cutting the grass, like all of that stuff is not real. Getting out of the matrix. There you go. Like someone is getting out of the matrix. Someone is waking up and like coming out of that. And in the middle of the month, it's just like, whoa, like everything looks different, right? Like if you've ever had that experience, and you know, somehow like you become aware of the earth and the universe and how it's all like talking to you, and the relationship and the connection that everything has, as above so below. Like you can talk about it all day long, but when you see it and feel it and it's in your face and you go through it, like it's an overwhelming feeling, and you come out of it and you're like, I see everything, you know, like I see the truth in everything, right? So like someone is coming out of the matrix, someone's coming out of this like closed 3D plane. It could be within a relationship, and stepping out of it and being like, I see why this person is the way they are. I see why I had to be with them, or that, you know, we came into contact, we came together. Like the lesson is here. I understand it. This was a mirror. This was a reflection. This person showed me something about myself. I showed that person something about themselves. And now we can grow from that, whether together or individually. I don't know, but it doesn't matter, right? There is an awareness, a really strong awareness here coming through in the middle of the month of why a certain situation played out how it did. And you're seeing it completely different from how you used to see it before. And I think that this is, the universe had a big part to play in this. And maybe the universe was guiding you to see this difference in some way, and pushing you like, look, you know. And now you are better equipped, maybe less confused, to know what path you need to take and what direction to pick from this point. And there is a sense of newness and being inspired about something again, something new. And this does, again, relate to the astrology around a relationship coming through to make you see something, right? I hope this makes sense to some of you. It's a really good reading so far. All right, you have the Seven of Cups coming in at the end of the month here. The Emperor. The Hermit, which really wanted to make an appearance a little earlier when I was shuffling. And the World. Okay, so at the end of the month, there could be options coming through. With the Emperor associated with the Seven of Cups, it's like options of investment, options of money, you know, different sources where you can make money or be in control of an organization. There's leadership coming up here as well, but just really controlling something. It could also be controlling your emotions. Maybe you have different emotions around a situation, but there is a need to identify this so you can create this really solid internal stable foundation for yourself, for your emotions, your emotional being, instead of, you know, being in the illusion and playing out stories and, you know, looking at all of the what ifs, like what if I did this, what would happen, or, you know, what if I said this instead of that, or, you know, like all of those stories that we play that, you know, some people can go into daydreaming about this stuff and sort of, you know, sabotage their self because they're not living in a, you know, real world for themselves. And then toward the end of the month, there's like, again, going into this realization. You may be quiet at the end of the month, maybe to yourself, trying to strengthen your emotions here, as I already stated, toward the end of the month. And you're going to see how something played out. Again, all of that, everything I said before, and closing out a cycle. So the end of June looks like healing work where I am closing out a certain cycle with the person or with the situation that I was involved in. I am gaining wisdom and I'm gaining experience from that. And there's a sense of, you know, of gratitude of like why things played out the way they did. I'm hoping that, you know, you don't go into like any heartbreak or anything like that. I'm hoping that you can see like the real reason why the situation played out how it did. And I think that, you know, I'm also hoping that you know that you're in control of your life and of yourself, that you are on a path that is divinely guided, that is purposeful, that you will see not only now within the month of June and gain awareness around why something turned out the way it did, but eventually this does feel very, very like life purpose, like, you know, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, this moment, you're going to see why something happened the way it did. And you need to trust that and follow your gut and follow your instinct and stay in complete control of your emotional state. So that way you can close this cycle out, because the universe is asking for you to keep going, right? We started with this star card here. Like, there is life purpose. There is something that you need to achieve, that you need to bring to life in your future. And if you continue to stay stuck in this confusion and this lack mentality of I'm not good enough, or I don't deserve this, or, you know, allowing a relationship to play into it, you are never going to get there. And the universe is bringing in situations and awareness for you to see something differently, understand where you're at, why this is happening. And so you can close this chapter out that is no longer working for you, so that way you can continue on this path that you're supposed to be on. But there's some work to do this month, Gemini, and this is a phase regarding the going into that mental psychological place. You know, there's a reason for that, and take full advantage of this moment to do that. The universe, the sky, the stars are presenting an opportunity, a situation for you to get this work done right now at this time of your life. Not later, right now. If you take advantage of this opportunity to do this work and close this cycle out right now, at this time of your life, you will be better equipped and prepared and completely aligned with your path and with the universe and where it's trying to take you. This is way bigger than what you think. I am feeling that very strongly. This is way bigger than this relationship you're in. This is way bigger than this little, I'm sorry, I don't mean to devalue anybody or anything, than this project or thing that you're done with. It could be a job that you're done with. It could be a relationship you're done with. It could be, an investment that you had with someone that you're done with. Like right now, that may seem like this is everything. This is my reality. This is my life. But it's not. This is matrix shit. Step out of it. See the big picture. Step out of yourself, right? Rise higher with your higher self and look down on the situation. And you can see things from a broader perspective, that this is not your reality. You're in this little hole right now when there's so much life around you. And you have no idea what's in store for you in your future. There's a need to close something out. Whatever you're closing out is not your future. So have excitement and enthusiasm for that future, because it looks really, really promising. And if you're brave enough and you have complete faith in yourself and your capability, and complete faith in the universe that it's going to take you where you need to go, complete faith in your intuition, because we never guide ourselves in the wrong way. You connect with that intuition, that is your truth. That is your inner knowledge. That is like AI, like our own personal AI for ourselves. Connecting with that intuition, because that's our higher self. Our higher self will never steer us in the wrong direction. You find yourself confused, that is doubt. That means you're not connected with your intuition and you're not following what your higher self and your intuition is telling you. That's your indicator that you need to do that. That something is off, something is wrong. And when in doubt, that means no. What is true, what is meant for you, will never have you in this state of confusion and fear and anxiety and, all of that. Truth does not come like that. Truth does not look like that. If you're in that, you're in a situation that you're not supposed to be in. That's an indicator as well, right? I don't know who I'm talking to, but I believe in you. I feel strength. I feel like you are meant for something big in this lifetime. And I hope that you see that. I hope that you know that. And have, faith that there's a reason why this is here, this situation is happening, to see something about yourself that you can transmute and transform, so that way in your future, once you are on this higher guided path that I'm feeling for you, this blockage that you are healing right now won't be an issue. It won't block you from where you're meant to be, because you're doing the healing work now. So I really hope that you take advantage of this time of your life to do that, so that way you can be better equipped mentally, emotionally, spiritually, to be able to handle and say yes to the path, the higher guided path that you're supposed to be on in this lifetime. Cool? That's fun work, Gemini, really. Especially if you think of your future and where you want to be. Be excited about it, because there's exciting things for you, for your future. So this is going to be the reading for the month of June for the sign of Gemini. I so appreciate your time and energy watching this video. If you had any insight or perspective on your situation, I would really love if you liked the video. And if you're curious to see more from the channel, I would be really honored and happy if you would subscribe to follow me on this journey, this YouTube journey of mine. So I am eager to read for you again. I hope to see you in July, and have a great month. Thank you so much. See you next time.